The road to the 109th Grey Cup for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
The kick is up. The kick is good. Seth Small has done it. The Tiger Cats have won.
Can be heard daily here on the Ticats Audio Network. From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Louie Butko.
Yes, it is Ticats Day for a Friday, October the 28th, 2022. Louie Butko here with you, getting you set for the Ticats regular season finale against the Red Blacks. Saturday, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we'll be on the air with the pregame show here on the Ticats Audio Network. Luke Tasker, RJ Broadhead of the call at 5, and Andy and Bubba will get you set at 4 p.m. You're not going to want to miss that. I'm very happy to say that this is not our last show of the year. It is our regular season finale, which is pretty exciting because even a few weeks ago, I was a little nervous that I wouldn't be here after the final regular season game, but we're heading to the playoffs. November 6th, the Ticats taking on the Montreal Alouettes, and we know that. In fact, we know all the playoff matchups. And this is the first time in a 9-team league, I find this hard to believe, but it's true, that this is the first time since 1996 that all playoff matchups and sites are set with no changes possible. No matter what happens in any of the final games of the regular season, nothing's changing. The playoff matchups are set. That being said, with a win, Calgary can become only the second team in CFL history to win 12 games and not have that turn into a playoff game. Edmonton did it in 2017, which was the first time ever a team had won 12 games and not been able to host a playoff game. So there you go. A pretty interesting couple of stats there. As everything's set. Doesn't mean this game is meaningless, or else I wouldn't have been here all week. We got you set for it, and we're continuing to get it set. You can catch a brand new Ticats this week with RJ and Luke. That's available now on the Ticats Audio Network. You can catch a brand new Speaking with the Enemy. I caught up with Jeff Avery this week. That's available on the Ticats Audio Network. So you got everything you need to get set for tomorrow's game. And then, as always, next week, we'll get you set for the big playoff matchup. We'll be back all next week for Ticats Today playoff edition. Playoffs? Yeah, playoffs. As the Ticats are getting set on the road to Regina. November 23rd, the Grey Cup will be held. And just a reminder, you want to get to the Grey Cup 2023. It is right here in Hamilton once again. And the best way to get your seats is by becoming a season seat member. Let's go to ticats.ca/tickets for all the details on that. Coming up on today's show, we will run through the depth chart. Lots of changes as expected. A lot of guys staying home, and we'll get into that when we take a look at the depth chart. We'll hear from Cedric Wilcots II, one of the newest members of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We'll hear just a little bit from Coach O, because I asked him about Curtis Newton earlier this week, and he had a great answer about that. And we'll hear from Curtis Newton himself. He was the team's nominee for the Jake Adair Award, and we'll get hearing from Curtis Newton, who unfortunately had his season ended by a torn ACL, but still a well-deserved nominee for the prestigious award that Chris Van Zyl took home last year at the CFL Awards. All right, let's take a look at the depth chart. Here is how the Ticats will line up against the Ottawa Red Blacks. And as mentioned, some changes, and we'll get to those as we go. At left tackle, it's Tyrone Riley. At left guard, it is Brandon Revenberg. No surprise there. At center, David Beard. At right guard, Coulter Woodmansey. And starting at right tackle in place of Colin Kelly, who will be sitting this one out, is Kemp, Brandon Kemp, getting the start at right tackle. Matthew Schultz is the starting quarterback. He'll be backed up by Dane Evans and Jamie Newman. Wes Hills makes his return to the lineup. He's the starting running back, backed up by Sean Thomas Erlington. Felix Garand-Gauthier being the starting fullback. No surprise there, but maybe a bit of a surprise. Miles Manalo will line up as the backup fullback. Out wide, you got Stephen Dunbar Jr. and David Ungerer III, and Godwin at slot. Tyler Turnowski getting the start, and Anthony Johnson as well. So no no Tim White in the lineup for the Ticats in this one. On defense, again, get your pencils ready as we get through this. A couple of guys missing, a couple of guys staying home. Trey Crawford getting the start at defensive end. He's backed up by Mason Bennett. At nose tackle, we're looking at McKinley Williams. The first year out of Syracuse getting the start at nose tackle as there's no Micah Johnson. Williams backed up by Ted Laurent, by the way. Mo Diallo is the starting defensive tackle, and Cedric Wilcots II is the defensive end position where Julian Hauser would normally play, as there's no Julian Hauser as well. All right, you keeping up? Luckily for you, the depth chart's at ticats.ca. So, at weak side linebacker, Simone Lawrence is in the lineup. Starting at Mike, it is Kyle Wilson, as Jovan Santos Knox will not be able to add to his 100-plus tackles on the season, so he will finish the 5th best tackling season in Ticats history, by the way. Nothing to scoff at there, but it's Kyle Wilson getting the start at Mike. And then at Sam, Cam Kelly is there. In the secondary, are you keeping up? I keep feeling like I gotta ask because there are a lot of changes to this Ticats lineup. But in the secondary, at the cornerback position on the weak side, we have, let's check here, it's Will Sunderland who is into the lineup. So Will Sunderland will start. He's in his first year out of Troy. At the halfback, you got Carriel Brooks. Tunde Adelke is the starting free safety. Richard Leonard is the starting halfback. And Lawrence Woods III is getting this spot at the Sam side of the field. And he'll be backed up by Ciante Evans, the normal starter on that spot. Seth Small, the team's nominee for Most Outstanding Rookie and Most Outstanding Special Teams Player, will handle the kicking duties. But it will be Blake Hayes who will be handling the punting duties as Mike Domagala gets the game off. Lawrence Woods III, I should say, is the kick returner and punt returner, and Gordon White is the long snapper. So, did you get all that? Into the lineup, Jamie Newman, Will Sunderland, Avoshan Joseph, Williams, Hayes, Crawford, Kemp, Godwin, and Bingham. Not playing in this game, Don Jackson, Micah Johnson, Tim White, Mike Domagala, Jamal Roll, Jovan Santos Knox, Colin Kelly, Malik Carney, and Julian Hauser. So basically 3/4 of the starting defensive line not going in this one. About half the secondary not going, 1/3 of the linebackers, and some changes at the receivers. So you might need to print out the depth chart to keep track of who's in and who's out. I would anticipate we see a little bit of Dane Evans. My gut is telling me that Jamie Newman will play the majority of this football game, but you never know. Same thing, I would expect to see a lot of Voshan Joseph. I'd expect to see a lot of Val Nua, maybe Kay Okafor on the defensive line a lot. Raheem Bingham as well. So a lot of changes for the Ticats. It's nice to see Bingham getting into the lineup as well. But get the depth chart handy for this one as the Ticats get set for the Ottawa Redblacks. It is a big game for Cedric Wilcots. He's been really impressive in a Ticats uniform. We had a chance to catch up with him earlier this week about being in Hamilton and how he's adjusting to the new team.
It's only been a couple weeks, but, just the guys, all the coaches, they're welcoming me like family. So, it's made my transition, super easy, super nice. It's like I've been here almost. So, the guys are helping me transition. Coaches are helping me. So, everything's going real smooth. I'm loving it. A guy like me, my journey hasn't been just straight. So, I've learned to, just adjust to whatever's thrown at me. If so be it, they trade me, so be it. I'm just going to make the best out of whatever position I'm in. Just consistency. And I really owe it all to my teammates. When I tell you those guys have helped me so much, just, whatever I don't know, yeah, bro, it's this, it's whatever, it's boom, 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 boom. So those guys they're helping me every day. So the big plays, the early big plays is just a testament to the guys in that locker room. You try to soak up as much as you can because those guys have seen a lot of football, especially out here. So I know those guys have seen it all, and a guy like me who hasn't had that many reps and that much experience, I'm all ears. You know, I'm just here to soak up whatever they got to tell me. If they see something that, you know, I may be doing wrong, bro, tell me what's up. What are you seeing out there? And we just handle it from there. Both organizations take it a week at a time. They don't never look too far forward. They never looking behind. It's what's happening in the present. And, you know, I can see that from both organizations. Both teams have a winning culture. So, you know, like they're very similar.
That is Cedric Wilcots II, who is getting the start for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in Saturday's game against the Red Blacks. How about the Red Blacks? They are trying to end an 11-game home losing streak. It's the fourth longest in CFL history, and it's matching their similar skid at TD Place across 2019 to 2021. They are 1-22 at home since June 2019. Yeah. Meanwhile, Seth Small can set an all-time Ticats field goal record if he does not miss any attempts this game. He sits at 36 of 40, which is exactly 90%, and the club record is 89.4%, which Justin Medlock set in 2015. If he does miss a field goal, well, he needs to go 6 of 7 to tie Justin Medlock. But if he doesn't kick a field goal, or if he doesn't miss one, it will be the most accurate all-time Ticats field goal percentage record in team history, which is pretty cool for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Meanwhile, Matt Schultz getting his 8th career start. He's 3-4 all-time and 1-0 versus Ottawa. And unfortunately, we won't see Lorenzo Malden the 4th. We might actually. I shouldn't say that, as I learned on Speaking with the Enemy. He is a game-time decision. But Lorenzo Malden the 4th leads the CFL in sacks. And the last Ottawa player to lead the CFL in sacks, Angelo Snipes in 1992. And meanwhile, Stephen Dunbar Jr., I just wanted to add this, final game notes. He is 31 yards away from his first 1,000-yard season. So a couple of things to keep your eye on in this one for while we're not concerned about the standings, and maybe we're not concerned about the results, to be honest. We play to win the game. They prepare to win the game. We've heard that all week. But that being said, staying healthy, making sure everybody's you want to go is good to go for next week might be just a little bit more important than picking up a winning in a, I don't want to use the word, but somewhat meaningless regular season finale. All right, with some great news this week when the nominees for the Jake Goddard Award were announced, and from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, it was Curtis Newton. And when we caught up with Coach this week, I asked about what Curtis Newton means to this team. Here's what Coach O had to say when I asked him.
Well, I think one of the factors that I can just start off with Curtis is, when we vote for captains, the coaches are out of it. The players vote. And Curtis was a unanimous choice on special teams. That's what he means to the football team, right? And then you add his work ethic, his professionalism, his actual tangible plays that he actually makes in the game. He ran our special teams meeting. He was calling the punt protection. I could go on, and then bigger than that, he's always going to get A's on the field, but he's an A person. That
is the president of football ops and head coach of the Ticats, Orlondo Steinauer, talking about Curtis Newton. And let's hear from the man himself up for the Jake Goddard Award. Here's what Curtis Newton had to say about being recognized and being up for the honor.
Honestly, it's a great honor. It's probably something I take more seriously than, getting an all-star award and things like that. I think being recognized for your character and your leadership is something that's very important to me. So, it's definitely a great honor, and learning more about who Jake Goddard was and what the award really means in terms of our men and women in the armed services as well. So it's definitely something that I take great pride in. Like I say, leadership is something I take great pride in. I don't think I've ever been the loudest or most vocal or even the most athletic or talented guy out there. So I think I have to do more the little things that kind of make up for what I lack in talent and things like that. So I try to just do my best to lead by example and kind of let my actions speak for themselves and walk the walk instead of talk the talk type of attitude. Absolutely. Mike Daly's one of those guys that when I first got to Hamilton, his leadership speaks for itself. He's a guy I look up to a lot and someone who I try and model my character after specifically. And then in terms of the team, he's just a guy that obviously brings a wealth of knowledge and great leadership. He leads by example. He does everything the right way. So I think it's a huge piece of the puzzle that'll serve us well over the next couple games. Absolutely, for sure. I mean, kind of back to what I previously said, I looked up to a guy like Daly over the past previous years. So with him not being here throughout the rest of the year, I tried to just do the things that he was doing previously. So being the older guy in the room, I definitely feel a little more responsibility to lead by example and keep the accountability up. But at the same time, the young guys out there have done just a phenomenal job all year. There's really been no drop-off from when the older guys haven't been out on the field, so I couldn't be more proud of the way the young guys have played this year on special teams. They've taken great pride in that phase of the field, for sure.
And that is Curtis Newton, the currently injured Hamilton Tiger Cat, but a special part of the team nonetheless. All right, that'll do it for us today. That'll do it for us this week. That'll do it for us this regular season. Next time you hear from me, it'll be Ticats Today Playoff Edition, and we can't wait for that, and we can't wait to get started on what is hopefully another long playoff run right up until the Grey Cup. For more pregame coverage, you can catch out a brand new episode of Ticats this week, a brand new episode of Tiger Cats Game Day tomorrow with Courtney Steven, and I'm not sure who Courtney has, so you'll have to tune in to find out, but it's all available on the Ticats Audio Network. And thanks, hope you'll join us next week. Tomorrow's kickoff, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock with the pregame. Hope you'll join us then on the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Louie Butko. Hope you have a great day, a great weekend. Go Cats, go.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Regina. Grey Cup is weeks away. Get your daily update here. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network.